Going live. Okay. Hello. Lovely to see you. My name's Jess. If you are unfamiliar with the channel, I make YouTube videos about monsters, about D&D, about magic, about everything role-playing games, but let's be honest, mostly D&D. I've been told that my microphone's a little bit quiet recently, and I don't think I've changed any of the buttons on it, but I'll leave it a little bit closer than usual just in case. It's Pride Month, and I've been doing an entire month of Pride-themed content. Forgive me, I just wolfed down my dinner very, very quickly. As part of that, I asked you guys on my Discord, link in the description if you'd like to sign up to the Discord, what you would like to see, basically. And one of the suggestions was to see traditionally monsters that are like traditionally represented by like one sex or gender predominantly being shown as others, essentially. So things like Hags was a big favourite. Medusae, harpies, and things of that nature. Hang on, let me just stick some music on, remembering to get a couple of things on the go. There we go. Yeah, basically, I thought we could do that today. I asked my patrons over on Patreon what particular monsters they wanted to see rearranged in this capacity. And by far away, the runaway favourite were hags. So I'll start drawing a man hag first, and we can kind of chat about that. Happy Pride. I hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you so much for being here. Reese, nice to see you. And Nord CVP Inc? CVP Inc? Nordic. Oh god, I'm so dumb. Sorry. Nordic. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Sam. Hi, Sam. How you doing? Hope you are okay. Again, let me know about the volume. I asked one of my D&D players about what's going on here, because apparently she has a very similar issue, that her volume kind of disappeared out of nowhere, and she's also a fairly softly spoken person. Well, she's a very softly spoken person. I've played around with the settings on the back of my microphone to see if there's something there that I've fiddled with and it's changed, but I don't know why my volume's quieter than normal, but let me know if you can hear everything. I've also put some background music on that might be sort of interrupting. Let me know how the volume is on that. But we're going to get drawing in just a second, but first I wanted to thank my patrons over on Patreon, who have been very, very lovely and kind with their support this month. Let me get your names here so I can give you a little shout out. My internet is really slow today, and I think I know the culprit. I think Adobe is trying to update in the background right in the middle of my stream. How dare you? How dare you? You're a little quiet, but you can hear. Okay, I will try and keep that as close as possible. Like, it's right here, and my table ends here, so unfortunately that is literally as close as I can get it, which is really weird because I've not changed my microphone or anything like that. I wonder what's going on there. Either way, one of my players, who is a streamer called Caro Corner over on Twitch, highly recommend checking her out. She's an amazing artist. Has had similar problems in the past and has sent me some things to fix it, but I don't totally understand them yet. I need to kind of reread through, and I thought, why sort of experiment now and maybe get it wrong when we could be a tiny bit quiet and like you definitely have sound and all this kind of stuff. But anyway, patrons that I want to thank are Duck Quack, Nicholas G. Silver, Anna Denberg, Benjamin Colburn, Within Nemisek, Yorick Beast, The Smiling Sadist, Styrax, Novaria, Miles, Sam Hickson, Braxton Hudson, Andrew, George P., Steve Harrison, Mara, Amanda and Jake Westfall, Rory Gladstone, Doombot9, Rose Celavy, Denny Skelf, Yuda Jorge, Dean Root, Kaidosaurus, Bronwyn Haller, Inquisitor Thomas Bootsy, and Megan Myrick. So thank you all so much for your support this month. I really, really appreciate that. So, who have we got in the chat today? We have... yes, Laval, thank you so much for being here. A little bit quiet, but you can still hear. Excellent. Okay, I do have a headset as well that maybe would be better. We can see if it's really inaudible. I can swap to that. The sound's good, says Reese. Nancy, the last biscuit corn is here. Thank you so much for being here, Nancy. Gift of Gabby, nice to see you. Thank you very much for being here. But yeah, I thought while we chilled out today, we could be drawing some get a Britney mic. Yeah, definitely. I am cool enough to have a Britney mic. I thought we could be drawing some... The phrase that I know from being online is gender bending, but that doesn't seem right. Some creatures who are represented by a sex that is not the one that they're usually depicted as. I think you know what I'm going for, but my vocabulary is limited. So, I asked everyone on Patreon what they wanted to see, and of the many, many creatures that are traditionally depicted as like a woman or a man or something else, the one that they most wanted to see represented in another form were hags. So a male version of a hag is what I'm going to go for, which is going to be kind of interesting. I hadn't really thought about it. What are your tips and ideas for me going about this? Be interested to hear your thoughts on how I could represent this. But we'll do a few today, I think. You prefer gift because non-binaries can't pick normal names. That is absolutely a case. Like, I was talking to someone about this the other day. Okay, sorry, I'm about to go off on one as per. But I was thinking about this. That because it was my brother I was talking to, because he's somewhat new to all of this, and in quick succession over the pandemic, both me and one of his closest friends came out as trans. So I'm a trans woman, and our mutual friend is non-binary, and we were talking about naming conventions and things of that nature, and I see a lot on trans subreddits of people picking names that the terminology in the trans community is called baby trans, like a name that is like way too cool, and I kind of love it. Like I went for a name personally. I went with Jess because it seemed like the kind of name that my parents would have called me. It seemed like I knew a girl called Jess who looked very like me when I was in primary school, and I got on with her very well. And I've since moved way too many times to have kept up with Jess, but she was a really nice person. I thought, yeah, Jess, that seems like an age-appropriate name for me. That seems like the kind of name that I would have had if we'd known that I was trans this whole time. But with non-binary people, there's no rule book, and I often think about, I don't know if it's the case across the world, but certainly I remember hearing it first when learning about African American culture, when people were often named by their slave owners, and they were taken away from their culture when they were in Africa. They had all this history and all this past, and so when they came over, there was this whole new culture of African American people because their old history was robbed of them. They had no idea, the next generation on didn't really have anything to cling on to. So African American naming conventions were entirely made, well, once thrown off older slave names, they were free to kind of come up with whatever name suited them, whatever name they felt like. And as a result, you get a lot of really amazing names that are some of our most recent expressions in I'm going to make my own naming conventions. And I think the same thing is kind of happening with non-binary people right now, because once you've gone through all the, Alexes, are they Alexander or are they Alexandra? Once you've gone through the Sams, like are they Samantha, are they Samuel, that kind of thing. There's not too many in European naming conventions, at least, that are totally gender neutral. So eventually you get room to come up with cool names that haven't so far been applied to anyone. So that's why you get, like, one of the sort of, I guess, jokes or trends or whatever you want to call it in the trans community is that non-binary people often pick, like, the name of a flower, the name of a bird, or something like that, but they always sound so cool. They always sound so cool. It's always like every non-binary person I've ever met sounds like the main character in a book, and I love that for them. It's just unbelievably cool. I didn't go that way myself because I am too bashful to be the main character, but I love that trend. I really, really love that. It's a feature, not a bug. I think it's a really, really cool thing about non-binary people. But I'm still not drawing, so I should probably get on that. But I will read your comments first. So, yes, that all came out of Gift telling me that Gift was their preferred name. Sorry for that huge rant there. So are we talking, Nord says a hermit for a male hag as a name, or a haggle, says Nancy. Not bad, but not haggle, says E.S. Laval. He-Hags, a heg, I like this. Yes, I had one in my head. Hermit definitely seems pretty good. Oh, healthy! You have a non-binary friend who goes by the name Violet. I actually swallowed my own hair. I actually chose Violet as my middle name, actually, because violets were historically a flower given by lesbians to other lesbians to let people know that they were, in the club, a friend of Dorothy, as they say in the 60s, without anyone alerting suspicions. And it got so bad that got so popular, is what I'm trying to say, that the church nicknamed people the Violet Menace, which sounds like my superhero name. But it's all based on Sappho's works, a ancient Greek poet and other amazing things, who is the origin of the term lesbian, because she was from the Isle of Lesbos, and famously was best friends with a bunch of other women. But Violet's lovely, so I've gone for Jess Violet as my first and middle names. Oh, my sound I went a bit quiet. Okay, I tested out being MB, though through my character. Oh, did you? Oh, that's really interesting. I think that's a really good way. I think D&D is great for that kind of thing, allowing you to explore yourself. So I think the thing that I really want to make sure that I get across in the He-Hag, the Heg, what did we say, Hermit, is a sense of the grotesque, because that's something that, like, hags tend not to just be just women. They're usually depicted as grotesque women. And I went to an art gallery at one point talking about the history of witchcraft and the depiction of women as witches, and it really did largely stem from, you know, someone didn't want to sleep with X guy, so X guy slandered them, and so on and so forth. And it's a continuation of that same kind of, like, I'm going to badmouth women because they didn't do what I wanted them to, which is also why witchcraft is sort of one of those things that is seen as female empowerment. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with this. I feel like I had thoughts. I'm really not liking this sketch that I've done so far. Can't settle on it. Right, this is the last head sketch, I swear. So why is this music? This is not chilled at all. This is... why don't I try... see what Lo-Fi Girl's got for us in terms of background music. Probably get an advert right at the start. I do. There we go. There we go. Much better. There was this witch-like man in The Witcher 3 called Pella. Interesting. Yeah, hag is such a unique descriptors that has no male counterpart. Hermit is good, but it lacks the connotation of nasty old person. Yeah, like the word that's coming up to my head is like miser, but I don't think that's right. I think miser is like someone who's miserly is someone who's like rude or maybe cheap with money or something. Either way, that doesn't seem to have the same connotations either. Halfie says, that lovely, quote-unquote, culture of she denied me, she was always ugly anyways. Yes, exactly that. So hags exist because of ancient Tinder, essentially. There we go. Already liking this guy a lot better. I can feel his personality through his eyes, and he's horrible. Really want to get this gaunt, skeletal face on the go. Give him a big, like, distorted nose. Give it a big kind of, I'm kind of giving it a big Roman hook here. Like, I love a Roman nose, but I'm trying to go for masculine looking features at the same time. A miser just makes me think of snow miser or a heat miser. I don't know what that is. Codger is sometimes used for an old man, not in a nice way. Yeah. When I hear nasty old male person, I think of Scrooge. Though I know that's just a name. I have another long tangential story about Scrooge, but I like if you want to hear it, I can tell it. It's an old tour guiding story that is very much true, but it is a tangent from what we're drawing. Let's give him Codger is a good one. A magical codger. Roger the magical codger. Seems like someone who would definitely be in my games. I'm thinking of, like, if you've ever played Red Dead Redemption, like the first one, there was a character in that who was like basically a ghoul who had this really horrible like mustache that looked like he'd licked his top lip and walked into a dust storm, and I want to capture that. You can have these kind of like Radagast style, like a bird has clearly gone to the bathroom in my hair, but like have it in the beard and stuff like that kind of look to him. A geezer, maybe? It is indeed the story of how Dickens got the name Scrooge. So, Snow Miser or Heat Miser is from an old claymation Christmas movie, heavily featuring Mrs. Claus. Oh, okay. Geezer makes me think of a turkey chicken gizzard. I mean, maybe that's what we want to go for. Mr. Chicken Gizzard. When you're waiting for a message and it's taking too long. Oh, did I miss an earlier comment? I'm going quite vulture-y. I wanna distend his neck, because fundamentally they're not human creatures. They're something else, aren't they? So, Freaky Skulls, how are you? I'm great, thank you. How are you doing? It's been a gorgeous and beautiful day here in Scotland, and I'm drawing a creepy abomination of an old man who is a male version of a hag, so I'm very happy because I get to draw creepy things. So I hope you're having a lovely day as well. Actually, Vulture's a really good place to take this. I'm gonna go for a little high up, kind of a really big rib cage, very bony, and then have all the wasting happen here. No, he looks too beefy that way. He looks too beefy. I'm not liking that now. I want to look gangly. You are sick, but happy to see your drawings. I'm sorry about that. Well, I hope you recover quickly. Hopefully this will be entertaining for you. Let's give him a big old bloated, sort of diseased beer gut type thing. Some long gangly arms, I think, is definitely in order for anything hag related. What kind of hag is he, by the way? What do you think? Well, I don't know what the species is called. But this one is named Nigel Gizzard. I like it. Yes. How about churl as a male equivalent for the word hag? It's got similar derogatory overtones. You know what? I haven't heard the word churl since school, doing like Chaucer and stuff. I can't actually remember what that is. Churl. Let's look up a definition. A rude and mean-spirited person. Seems interesting enough. Coming from the Old High German, Karal. Interesting. And similarly with hag, it has older meanings that weren't so negative. So hags weren't always a negative thing, but they were turned negative. And similarly, the word churl also used to mean a free man in Anglo-Saxon. So that seems like the kind of thing that would definitely suit a hag, actually, doesn't it? I like that. Love Kyoshi the Deathless, absolutely. It's giving off those vibes. Oh, not Kyoshi the Deathless. Hang on. Nordic says, also feel like he wears stained white muscle shirts and a ratty ass sweatshirt. Yeah, definitely. I don't actually know. I thought you were talking about someone else there. She the Deathless. Why are you doing this? Command C. Command V. Who is She? The Deathless. Oh! I think I know this story, but by a different name. Was this the first Lich? It is! Okay, I know them by a different name. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about. And that fits that story so well. I really love that you brought that up. Thank you very much. What a compliment. Before I forget, Pointy Hat did a video on hags where they made some alternate subspecies, conceptualizing them as sustaining off of certain emotions. Ooh, that's an interesting idea. I like that a lot. What were their subgroups? Can you remember? Yes. I love concepts like that, especially when they add dark twists to positive emotions. Yeah, absolutely. Gentle hags, pleasure, haunt hags, fear. Interesting. What about Volcul even? Combo of vulture and a very physical descriptor, and the churlish. Yeah, I do like this. I like this a lot. Very nice. Let's give him some ratty robes. Kind of drift over here. Should almost be wet looking. And then we want to have some horrible like skulls and stuff. Maybe have like a I don't know, like a cow skull or something, or maybe something demonic, implying their kind of connection to magic. Oh, you know what? Maybe instead of like little ram horns, I kind of go for the far more like little antlers or something, from which we could hang some interesting bones. Something like that. That seems quite fun. Yeah, okay, I'm liking this guy. I think we can start working with this. Bird skull is always my go-to. Yeah, definitely bird skull. Maybe here, maybe like a little. Have it tied onto this point. That always makes you think of witch bottles. Yes. I like this. This is good, guys. I'm liking the vulture. Is that what we're going for? Now, I've been using various pride flags as my colour palettes for all my drawings this month. And I wanted to use the non-binary one today, which, if we're going down the Night Hag route, super works. So they have this kind of like purpley skin. So let's see how that works for today. Hopefully it'll be great. But I might need to adapt it here and there for all sorts of reasons. Also, sorry non-binary people that you're getting a gross hag dude as your as your creature. Maybe vulture is the subspecies. Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yes. Of course. See what, I'm just gonna save before we get any further. There we go. Have you ever used a male version of a hag or something like that in your games and just called it a hag? Or is this a new one on you? Now my life goal is to be a hag of some small town. This is fantasy fulfillment. Oh, okay, excellent. Okay. Also same. Like, I'm looking forward to becoming an old lady. Like, I'm just gonna get super creepy with it. I'm gonna become the village witch. Unrelated, but does anyone know why Anise hags are named as such? All other hags have a name that describes them, but Anise is just an actual name. Let's have a quick Google. Let's see if there's something that comes up straight off the bat. Maybe it has an old Irish name. So there's apparently a Greek root meaning poor. Oh, interesting. Here we go. Anise dates back to Anglo-Saxon tribes and is derived from the personal name Agnes, which itself is derived from the Greek name Hagni, which means pure or holy. But maybe it's just related to that. What are you guys saying to it? Pulled up the video to check. Pillow hags are sustained in love. Court hags are ambitious. Gentle hags feed on happiness, and haunt hags feed on fear. I like the sound of all these. These are really great distinctions. Another thing I love in concepts like that is when they put a positive spin on negative emotions. Yeah, that's a really good call. As an NB, I'm delighted to be represented by Nigel Gizzard. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad you are. There will be other creatures tonight, I'm sure. Depending on how much energy it takes for me to do Nigel. If we get time to do more than one, there will be a few, and I'll use the same colour palette. But see how I'm feeling after we finish Nigel. I hope you're all having a lovely day, because it is absolutely skin-meltingly hot here in Scotland today. although our roommate is apparently a lizard because she has decided that no, it is not at all boiling. And she's sent photos of her just enjoying the sunshine in a hoodie, no less. Which, you know, it's like it's going to get up to like 22 degrees C here, and that is not human weather to me. Can't be coping with that. I'm not built for those humid climes. There we go. Ooh, missed a finger there. Local MB rep. America here, what's 111 Fahrenheit in C? Let's find out. Fahrenheit. So apparently in American temperature, today's weather has been 71 degrees Fahrenheit. But you are currently experiencing, what is it, 111? So is 43 degrees Celsius? Are you on the surface of the sun? Where are you? Why are you still there? Get out while you can. What is that? No! 44 degrees C, that's like steel boiling temperature. What on earth are you doing still there? Good grief. That's outrageous. Just, no. No. Good grief. That's absolutely... I feel like I can feel that sticking to my skin from here. Regularly dealt with 44 degrees C in Australia. It did kill me. I am a ghost. Yeah, no. Any state past Oklahoma is a cast iron frying pan in the summer. My goodness. Wow. So our honeymoon, we went to the States and we went to New Orleans, we went to Nashville, and we went to Portland, Oregon. And I think it was like an unreasonably hot summer. And it was something like 30-something degrees. And even the locals were like, oh, this is disrespectfully hot. Like, this is unnatural. And, like, yeah, I can't imagine. I can't picture that temperature. I literally cannot imagine what that's like. My poor British bones weren't built for that kind of stuff. Good Lord. You poor sweet child. Get out while you can. My God. I'm not going to get over that for the rest of the night, by the way. I'm sorry. That's the show now, is me just being flabbergasted that you people are still alive. Jeez, oh. Like, do you need help? Do you do you want to get out? Are you okay? But yeah, no, yeah, I wouldn't volunteer, for example, to go on holiday somewhere where I knew that was the temperature. It's unreasonable. That is absolutely unreasonable. Good Lord. Alright, I'm gonna get over it. I'm gonna get over it. I'm gonna... Oof. No, it's been too hot for me today. It's yeah, just been boiling, and I went to the gym today and was woefully unaware of what it would be like when I got out. And yeah, too hot for me. Already worked up a sweat. You know when you like already work up a sweat, and then you're coming outside and thinking like, oh yeah, this will be fine, and it's just like the world is the same temperature as your body. It's just like, no thank you. Right, what are you guys saying to it? Cries in British, yeah, definitely. South Louisiana, oh my goodness. Yeah, I bet that's absolutely scorching. Good grief. I'm imagining humid bayous. Is that right? I tell you what, actually, like, New Orleans was really lovely though, even though it was too hot to even move. We had a really great time, and I do desperately want to go back. I would go back. I say this hesitantly, but I would go back knowing it was that temperature. Even though I understand that it's likely not to be that kind of temperature, it was good enough that I would go back. So that's a sign of a good place. If I'm willing to stomach disrespectful heat. What have we got going on? Pocket timed you out? I don't understand what that means. Anyone know the D&D YouTube Twitch channel called World of IO? No, I don't. What do they do? Really loving the mega slouch this guy has going on. Oh yeah, absolutely. He's got his own. I mean, chiropractors hate him, but you know he's doing his own thing. Let's get the beard on the go. Where's my mouse gone? Hello, where's my mouse? There we go. That's the posture of me editing videos. I've seen you edit videos, and yes, it is. I love you very dearly, but yes, that is 1000%. Bless you. I'm keen to use things like male hags and stuff like that in my games. I know they have like a detailed, like, how do hags come about mythology, and involves like the stealing of kids and stuff, which, you know, not super great. I mean, it's an interesting origin. But this does make it a little bit easier to just fit hags into your world, or maybe we could treat them like an entirely different creature, this kind of male hag. Who knows? New Orleans is an amazing place to visit. I would just not recommend summertime. Yes, we've learned that lesson now, at least. Styrax accidentally overcooked tomorrow's lunch. What were you having? Sorry, you got to start from scratch by the sounds of it. I'm just imagining this thing in the story of Hansel and Gretel. Goodness, yeah. A visit during Mardi Gras. Weather is usually great at that time. I'm not super great with crowds, but we'll see. Isn't that also when the most tourists are there? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Styrax is right there with me. Not great with crowds. The lore I've used for male hags once was that there was a rare male spawn of a hag that they didn't eat or use for magical ingredients. Interesting. Yes. there are many places to go that aren't crowded. Nordic asks if they're back, and yes, you are. I can absolutely see you. If I'm somehow put Nordic in a timeout for an innocent comment. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. You've just... Obviously, Google thinks you've got a reputation, Nordic. What have they got on you? Don't you worry. Go for this kind of greasy looking blonde hair. I'll put loads more depth into very soon, I swear. But right now I'm just trying to make sure that the NB colours are here, at least, and then I can add some additional depth to them in a second. Yes, worked. And let's sort out this hair a tiny bit, because it is... There we go. Although I think I'm missing a tiny smidge there. Seems about right to me. And then the white parts can be these animal bones that we've got going on. Oofed. Zoomed in way too far. Oh no, wrong layer, wrong layer. Caught myself just in time. Okay. And then there's another little skull down here on his loincloth. Okay. Right, we are ready to start getting some line work on the go and get some more details up in here. Bring this guy to putrid life. There we go. I highly recommend not going to spoil things, but the world is so well developed and very interesting. I'm in the middle of phase 3. I think I've missed an earlier comment that you must have led written that makes sense to me, I'm afraid. But anyway, healthy. Well, welcome, Reese. Yeah, sorry, I didn't read your comment properly. Healthy says finished a Star Wars Pride picture yesterday. Oh, amazing! Have you shared it to the Discord? I'd love to see what you've come up with. Nordic says MB color scheme is just making me think of my baby enchant. A D&D character. Oh, bless. Starek says, Jess, oh no, it's mush. This is your dinner for tomorrow. I'm having rice with fennel and apple. I always have trouble cooking apples. Oh, they are a pain. They either take longer or shorter than anticipated. They are a pain. Apples are hard to cook since each variety takes a different cooking time, says Healthy. Absolutely. Oh, World of IO. Oh, that's what you're talking about, Reese. I'm sorry. Yes, sorry. It was a while back, and I didn't connect the dots. Sorry about that. And what it says. I was a caretaker for a while. They go by the same rules as. You were a caterer, not a caretaker. Caterer for a while. They go by the same rules as potato. Fork until tender. Good call. Getting the hot apple tips. I love this community, it's so weird. Right. Need to join if I haven't. I'm really bad at remembering to join Discord servers. Don't worry, there's absolutely no rush. The link is in my description on this video, though, I believe. And that goes for all of you. The Discord is available to absolutely anyone who's interested. We did have to ban our first person the other day because obviously I've been making Pride content, and so as a result all of the phobic people are coming out of the woodwork, and we had a little troll tootle along, so don't worry, we do deal with trolls. Don't want to have to, but their existence occurs sometimes and we have to, so just don't be a troll, and you are otherwise extremely welcome to join. Also, 99% of the time you always want to put in apples later rather than sooner. I'll be honest, the only time, I just use cooking apples specifically whenever I'm making a dish with them, and to be honest, the only time I ever tend to really use them is for applesauce. So they, that's the simplest thing you can make with apples, I think, is applesauce. So luckily nothing's really gone wrong for me in terms of my apple-based cooking adventures. I love how sweet this community is, by the way. Getting apple cooking tips in the middle of the video. It's adorable. And a pick to the LGBTQIA channel. Excellent, thank you. Here in the south we make apple butter. It's so good. I've never heard of that. But all I can think of now is like apple butter jeans, boots with the fur. Which I'm sure you've heard a million times. Make myself laugh. I'm so sorry. Right. I had my husband grill apples for me once. I'm not sure how he did it, but I think it was sugar and cinnamon. Yes, always a good call. So soft and amazing. That sounds amazing. It is I. I love your name as well. So like a candied apple, slices or rings. So is apple butter like, do you use butter to make it, or do you make a butter out of it as you would like peanut butter or cashew butter or something like that? Thank you for your great comedy. You don't have to apple butter me up. I appreciate it. Thank you for not switching the channel over. We're not done with the head yet, but I do want to get the same line work going on the body part. So while I've got the same brush size and everything all on the go, I'll move on to doing some line work on the body. But I will also remember to save, because I haven't done that for a bit. We don't want to lose this guy. It's more akin to peanut butter. It's an actual thing you can put it on food and toast. Interesting. It's thicker. It's a thicker fruit spread. It's also a Dio reference for any anime fans of like JoJo. God, I just buy a train, and that train is nostalgia. I like jam, but more. Okay. So, is it like a jam then, or something like that? I'm very confused. I've never heard of it. Is it like apple sauce? Like a kind of. Is it translucent or like? Because I've got like maybe a jam or a chutney in my head, I suppose. Is kind of where I'm going with this so far. Either way, next time we're in the States, I'm trying some apple butter. That sounds cool as heck. Paste jam. Okay. Best explanation I have. Interesting. Sounds like apple stroop. It's cooked in reduced fruit spread that's slightly sweetened and can be seasoned. So it's a less of a sweet jam. Is this what Americans call apple stroop? Interesting. Oh, okay. I've also not had apple stroop, but I'm at least more familiar with the concept of apple stroop. That's fascinating. Or rather, I find it fascinating. Interesting. Okay, I have a much more tangible concept of what this is. I still want to try some. Because to me, like, jelly and jam are roughly the same sort of things. Like, we don't use the phrase jelly in, like, well, we call what you call jello jelly, but jelly is not something we would put on toast. That we leave exclusively for jams. But I believe you also have jam and it's a separate thing to jelly, but we don't make that distinction. So the world is a confusing place. God, I have so much more fun drawing now. I love all these like weird shapes I get to do just because it feels like a fun thing to put in. It informs me about the anatomy of someone without having to be like, this is anatomically correct, or at least close. It's just like, I'm making a fantasy monster. Its anatomy is whatever it ends up looking like, you know? I was talking to my brother about this the other day, and because he came around for a little miniature painting night, and I was saying about, like, you know, he was saying he was getting quite exhausted with the amount of drawing that he's been doing recently, and it's like, you gotta stop holding yourself to a standard. You gotta go back to when drawing was fun, you know, enjoy it. Jelly in the UK is jello in the US. Yes, definitely. Jelly is a dessert in the UK. Yes, absolutely. Our jelly is seedless, and jam in the US is less filtered. So it usually. Oh, okay, okay. So we would call that just either a jam, or, I mean, that's just fancy jam, basically. That's just an expensive jam. This is why I never paid attention to my grandmother made jams and jellies. I've taken to calling jello gelatin simply as I don't like using brand names to describe food products. Interesting, yeah, that makes sense. Or you could call it jelly, as is correct. Kellen coming in with the UK law official. Oh. Give me 1 second, I'm getting a phone call. Hello? Yeah, that's me. Sorry about that. That was an urgent phone call from an appointment tomorrow. I am having my next round of lasers shot at my face tomorrow, which is very painful. But it's also an appointment that I don't want to miss, because otherwise I might end up with a beard. So that was them phoning to say that the person who normally does it is off. And I need to be with someone else new, but they can only do an appointment half an hour earlier, so that's me making sure that I'm still going ahead with that, basically. Which I'm sure everyone wanted to know. Nordic says, I'm going to hop out for a second, probably be back in an hour. Goodbye, everyone. No worries. Lovely to see you, Nordic. Hopefully we'll still be here. We have a lovely time. Same with cotton swabs, medical bandages, and so forth. Okay, but the best thing on toast, though, is honey. I hope it all goes well for you then. Yes. You know what? I'm a Marmite fan on toast. I'm a big savoury fan. I do love a peanut butter and jam. Alfie, are you talking about cotton buds and plasters? Yes. I believe so. Bloody heathens and their own ways of speaking. How dare they? We in the UK speak in words, not just in brands. E.S. Laval, you are bringing some fire today. Leave the Americans alone. They're lovely people. And they're going through a very hard time right now. Shots fired. If it makes you feel better, call everything Coke at this point. Which creature are you currently drawing? This is the He-Hag, in fact. Yes, it is, Nick H. Hello. This is our ghastly He-Hag. We've gone for Night Heg. More heat than the sun, yes, goodness me. Here in the Arcane Forge, we're all one nation, and I am your queen. I beg to differ. We are middling people at best. Dear, oh dear. Bunch of ragamuffins. A lot of you. I want to make some tea, but I'm out of cream for it now. I got such savoury looks in America when I ask for milk in my tea or coffee. But I've also tried creamer, which includes sugar inside it already, doesn't it? It's like, it was very sweet when I tried it. It was quite overpowering. I couldn't end up drinking it, unfortunately, but it was... I didn't realise creamer was something other than just like, you know, milk or cream or whatever. He's already been named Nigel, I'm afraid, Nick, apparently. Yes, I do remember this. Creamer has extra additives depending on what you get. Okay. I find that creamer makes the tea taste like coffee. Interesting. Which is weird, but it was hazelnut. But it was hazelnut, which probably didn't help. Oh, okay, I get you. So it's like a syrup. Not a fan of coffee. Fair dues. I'd require coffee to survive. You shan't leave the Americans alone. How bloody dare you? You disrespect me in my own house. Yeah, I'm not really going to challenge you. Dear Yank friends, I care for you. Of course, there we go. No cream in my tea, please. Okay, but got to try hot cocoa and coffee. Yes, like a mocha. I like my coffee how I like my men. I don't like men. I may have to use that, but I do like coffee, and I'm friends with men. Just don't want to date any. Very happy just being married. Talking of hot drinks, do you want one up? Ooh. You know, I wouldn't say no to a little coffee if one's on the go. Yes, please. Thank you, Yvonne. See, she's a lovely wife. She looks after me. Brings me hot drinks. The purest sign of British love. I could say the same about women, says Healthy. Adjust as needed, and now I want a coffee. Yes, I also would love a coffee. Right. Let's finish up this guy's body. Let's get some colours on the go. Go back to this nice purpley colour that I was using to make some gradients. I drink tea if there's no coffee. I need to start drinking a bit more tea, and I think I'm going to do that sort of largely in the evenings when there's not much to do, but I need to I need a tiny boost of caffeine. You know what I mean? But coffee is my luxury drink. It also is the thing that kind of gets me out of bed, but you know, why can't they be both? Because I have a terrible caffeine addiction, that's why. But yes, that's where I'm at. Actually, I really want to get making the iced coffees soon. It's been, as I say, turning it back to the chat about being very, very hot. I need to be making either some coffee ice lollies or some iced coffees. Because I made a lot of iced tea last year, and I think it's coffee's turn. I'm liking how Nigel's coming out so far. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, so I'm sorry if there's a buffering effect, guys. What's your favourite tea? Gotta say blueberry. Interesting. Oh, hello. Hi. How you doing? Favourite tea? I have just bought some lavender tea. I'm a big fan of lavender, if you can't tell. Somewhat obsessed, and that's a sort of like calming nighttime tea. So looking forward to trying some of that. But other things, I like a chamomile, especially when I'm unwell. I have to say, like, I do like an English or a Scottish breakfast. However, I think Earl Grey is my favourite like flavour of tea. Like I often use that when I'm baking as well. Like I'll make a kind of an Earl Grey and lemon cake or something like that. And that always goes down a treat. It's a really lovely bit of cake. It's just a nice kind of, I like perfumey flavours, I have to say. Creamer is vile, but it makes a great nutrient medium for some bacteria. Lab tech things. Interesting. Can we get it in the UK, or is it just a Welsh thing? Oh, just an American thing / Welsh. You know what I mean. Best tea is Lapsang Souchong. I can never say that. You know what? I've never actually ordered Lapsang. It feels very fancy to order Lapsang. I feel like I'm ordering like a grown-up tea. My grandma used to love Earl Grey. Hey, there we go. Personally, if anything else, chamomile tea is so nostalgic. Oh my goodness, we've got very similar tastes. Trying to make a picture with people making bedroom eyes at each other, but I, for the life of me, can't seem to get the faces to not look dirty. Yes. Romantic expressions as opposed to lustful are difficult to combine. Yeah, very hard. I mean, I'm not sure I can give you tips, as it's not something that I really have spent much time drawing, but just don't raise any eyebrows, I guess, is all I can say. Keep those eyebrows nice and low, and then you'll get it. Do you make tea or coffee on the stove pot? On a stove, or use Keurigs? We use none of these things. We use a kettle, like civilized folk. All British homes have electric kettles, and it's astonishing that Americans don't, frankly, or don't regularly have one. Maybe that's what a Keurig is. Coffee pot or microwave? You put coffee in a microwave? Zoons. A lot of you need...
It's not dangerous to boil things in it.
That's what I would have thought.
It's not expand when you open it.
Yeah.
Sorry, but...
No, that's okay. Electric kettle. Yeah, kettles are just things that are available everywhere. They're dirt cheap. Get a kettle. Like, literally, you will not go in... You can't even get hotel rooms in the UK without their own dedicated kettles inside. Hi Mara, how are you doing? We're talking about, with amazement, that the Americans don't have electric kettles in their homes for the most part. Keurig is just so wasteful. What is Keurig?
It's the coffee pot thing.
Oh, like an espresso machine, but like...
Yeah, you get little plastic pods.
Yes.
The pods themselves are very wasteful.
Yeah, they are totally wasteful. Very understandable. Some shading on this little crotch flap thing. That's exactly what it sounds like.
Crotch flap.
Yeah, loincloth. You know what I'm going for. Oh, I love this one. Oh, thank you very much. This is a male hag. Was the top requested thing on Patreon when we were covering this. So this is a night hag called Nigel the Night Hag. And yeah, he's extra creepy. Really enjoying him so far. glad you are too. Coffee pot is our version of a kettle. Okay. Or a pan, like a saucepan. Yeah, I don't understand how you can live without a kettle. Yeah, it's very, very peculiar. Oh, you voted for the hag. Oh, excellent. Your mother bought a Keurig and we went and we broke the sensor so we could run it without a pod inside. Now it's like a single serve coffee pot. Okay, yeah, fair dues. Like I cook with the water in the kettle. Yeah, absolutely. So your pasta doesn't take half an hour. Absolutely. I cook the pasta on the stove by heating up the water. And so on. Glad you're having fun drawing him, Arcane. Thank you very much. My name's Jess. You can call me Arcane or Jess, whatever you fancy. A kettle is the fastest way to boil water for any reason. Absolutely, yeah. That is why we love it.
We just had a first with Myrtle there.
Oh yeah?
She actually barked to be let in rather than just staring blankly.
Oh really?
At the door until...
Oh, I thought that was because the little the monitor was torn off your arm or whatever. But
I think she just barked again.
nice.
Just
Well done, Matty. You're learning. Jess, is your wife feeling better yet? Yvonne, are you feeling better?
Yeah. COVID was not what I thought it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I'm much better. Thank you very much. And I've done the next video, so it's ready for Monday.
Oh, thank you. Yes, she is feeling much better. If you couldn't hear that, and everything's sort of returning to normal. It's not quite as bad as we were all expecting. Sorry, I'm just echoing what she said in case you didn't pick her up on the microphone. Yes, she is feeling a lot better. Although she is still working quite a lot and getting quite exhausted. So I have to keep telling her to stop and chill out. So, but otherwise, doing very, very well. So yes, thank you very much for asking though.
Thank you.
Everyone's very glad to see that you're doing better.
Oh, thanks.
I'm going to get rid of the sketch layer. I don't think we need that anymore. Styrax is curious. Who else has a kettle that can do 60° too for green teas? Interesting. That's very niche.
That's a fancy one.
That's very fancy.
I just try and guess and switch it off when I think it's very.
Yeah, I just like pour it and then let it cool down. Honestly. But yes, I'm not particularly patient when it comes to tea temperature. I think that's one of the things for me because I always want a sweeter tea, so I know I should leave it for a while, but I can never bring myself to do it. Just want to make it faster. This is why tea is not my drink of choice, I suppose. Working while recovering from any infection is never a good idea, so you're doing good telling her to stop. Thank you very much, Mara. I will show that to her every time she does too much work. I'm not alone. Have you tried mochi? I do love a bit of mochi. Actually, we got these little things that were little mochi that like had ice cream inside. They were like little frozen mochi ice creamy things that were very, very Moorish. They're called Little Moons was the brand, yeah. Very cool. Highly recommend if you have access to them. There's lots of kettle temperature chat going on in the comments.
I offered to get you a hot drink. I don't know that you saw that.
I did, yeah. I said that I would have, but I think...
Sorry.
No, that's quite alright. But I've since... Like, I've realised I've already got a half-opened Diet Coke here, so I've got a drink. But thank you. Ooh. Shading on these skulls. I'll get on that hair and try and make it as grim as possible. Lovely. I think I will just do something to tie all of these together as well. Greetings, darling, says Frostmute19. Hello, how are you doing, my dear? Mochi is delightful, such a nice texture. It really is, isn't it? Like nice and little squidgy texture. It's really, really unlike almost anything else. Tried to make homemade mochi when I was a teenager. I only had description from a cookbook to go on, and didn't even know if I got the right results right until you tried mochi at a restaurant. Did you get it right in the end? I hope you did. It is I says, that's amazing. I want to try and make it. The only thing I can make is chicken and pizza. Oh, bless. If it makes you happy, then chicken and pizza is all you need. Back to art for a second. I love the fuzz on his upper lip. Thank you very much. Yes. There's a very, very particular look. I'm trying to go for super gross looking tufty sparse hairs. Running off to grab some brunch. It's going on 9 a.m. here. Might lose connection. No worries. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you do still get connection, but if not, do not worry. Thank you very much for being here. I'm glad we could help you wake up this morning. Pizza is for work. I can make a slapping barbecue HCP. I don't know what that is. And a BF. You're speaking like a Scientologist at this point. I don't know what these acronyms are. Ranch pizza with chicken poppers. Goodness me. Frostmoot. IT work is exploding all around me, so getting myself a 30 minutes of calm. Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm glad I can be that calm for you. I'm hoping the whole thing calms down for you in general. I get bored and steal ideas from my husband. Honey, chipotle, and buffalo sauce. Ooh, that sounds amazing. Sounds very, very nice. I used to make a lot of honey, wasabi, and soy. I don't eat honey anymore, but I could easily make that with agave syrup, so I could still make a vegan version actually. It'd be very, very nice. Need to get some wasabi again actually. I miss cooking with that. Let's get a gradient on this hair. Go for a nice kind of dark colour here. actually. I'm not a huge fan of how that ended up. Maybe I want to do this instead. Get the comb out. That seems more like it. There we go. Much more kind of Norse looking. I like that. I think we will start off here. Just getting this line work in here as well. There we go, love it. I'm actually really, really pleased with Nigel the Man Hag. I think I might leave it there actually. I don't want to sort of risk it by adding anything else to that. I think he's really cool. He's a good man hag. I hope you enjoyed it as well. But before I go, I'll have a little read of your chat. If you have any questions for me, I can answer some of those. Plain Star Barry says, I was lucky that my local grocery store had the right kind of rice flour. There was a lot of kneading involved. I was worried I didn't get it right because of the chewy texture, but that's what you need. Yeah, absolutely. Well done. Go you. That sounds so good. Wasabi tastes so weird. Has a strange texture to it. Definitely. I really love it. I think it's a difficult thing to get right, but I'm just very interested in why, you know, it's so spicy in a kind of horseradishy, mustardy kind of way, like at the front of your tongue rather than how spice is usually at the back of your tongue. And like Yvonne doesn't really like spicy stuff, but she loves wasabi, for example, so it's a totally different reaction. So it's nice to be able to cook something that, you know, that is spicy that we both enjoy, because I love spicy food. I understand the need. You need the right flour for the stuff. I ran out of very specific flour for my workplace, so we had to use grocery store flour, and it was so soft and it made the dough strange. Oh goodness. One of your dogs love wasabi, but that's just beagles. Interesting. The drawing looks cool, by the way. Loving it so far. Thank you very much. So glad the sun is going down. Yeah, just about, isn't it? Might try and catch a few minutes in the garden after this stream. Excellent. He does look hideously great. Thank you so much. Mara loves him. What a king. Can get anyone. Absolutely. I love the patterns on the beard, add some really nice mystic effects. Yeah, thank you very much. I really like it as well. It looks very kind of like Norse rune magic almost. By the way, I wanted to do... I really love... I stream on Twitch every now and again, where I do more art, and I'm going to do a bit more of that soon. But two things. Firstly, I'm going to take a bit of a break after Pride Month. I thought I would let you know now. And I'm going to still be making content during this time, but I won't be posting it as much. So basically the idea is that I could kind of get a backlog of videos so that I could work on more stuff that I want to. So I'll be taking I'll probably still be doing live streams and stuff, but I probably won't be like posting videos after Pride for like a month while I work on getting like a backlog of content. So just a heads up there. The other thing that I wanted to say is that one of the things I love about Twitch streaming is that you get to do something called raiding, which is when you finish a stream, you can direct people who have been watching your stream to another streamer, or rather, people can opt out, but otherwise, when you end your stream, it automatically goes on to somebody else's stream. So one of my friends, a very, very dear friend, who is actually in my D&D group, she's in my D&D party, is called Kat, and she has a really, really lovely stream. She's going to be streaming tonight over on Twitch, and she's another artist. She's called Caro Corner or Studio Caro, but I will leave a link in the chat to go and watch her stuff. I think she's starting at 9 PM and it's currently, what is it, 9? It's about 7 o'clock now. No, 8 o'clock. It's coming up to 8. So there's about an hour's wait before her stream starts, but I would highly recommend it. Let me just grab her stream thing here. Let's go on Twitch. If you'd like to, anyway. And say hi from me if you watch. I'll definitely be there in the chat, because I enjoy watching her stuff. Where are you, Kat? Where's your... Show more. There we go. Here's Kat. Copy the link to that. Can I post a link in my own thing? There we go. So there's the link to Kat's stream if you want to go and say hi. That starts in an hour's time. But yes, otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed making our man hag. I'll post him on Instagram because I really enjoyed this drawing. And thank you so much for being here, for your suggestions, your ideas, and your wildly enthusiastic tea chat. I love that about this community. And yeah, there's still a good few videos of Pride left. So I'll be, I think Monday is going to be, Corallon is the next one. So Monster Monday on Corallon. Yeah, so very excited. And Yvonne just finished that one as well. So that'll definitely go live. And then after that, it's my kind of homebrew asexual race, who I've called the Florendi, who I'm very excited to show you all. But yeah, in the meantime, a little bit of non-binary representation, a little bit of Nigel the Man Hag, and yeah, I hope you have a lovely, lovely evening. Bye.